Good afternoon, students. Last session, we have started the third lesson, applied history, and in that we have studied few points. So first of all, we have studied yesterday that what is actually applied history, means meaning. Then after we have seen applied history and the research in various fields. So if we want to know any particular thing, then we have to study or research the particular field. Then we will get to know about the chronological of that particular subject. And also we have we not yet started that applied history and our present, means in our present life how we are using history, and we are going to apply the knowledge of history in regular routine that we are going to see today. But before that, once again I want to revise you 3.1 applied history, second 3.2 applied history and research in various fields. So I will revise what is meant by applied history. So another one name is there for the applied history, that is called public history. And the applied history is a field of study concerned with the application of history for the benefit of people in the contemporary and future times. Means the application of historical knowledge, means whatever knowledge we are gaining through this all study, that historical knowledge, the knowledge of history that we are using in practical life, that is called applied history. Applied, simple meaning is there. Applied means we have to apply. Are we applying for the interviews and jobs? Yes. So knowledge of history we have to apply in our regular life. Okay. So next one we are going to see in this applied history and research in various fields. So few fields we have studied: philosophy, science, technology and industry and commerce, management studies, arts and humanities. Okay, so in that first one we have studied philosophy. So if you want to know the ideologies and their actual time when it was started, so then you have to study the philosophy. Philosophy मध्ये काय येतं ऍक्च्युअल मध्ये, जर एखादे देव असेल किंवा देवी किंवा मंदिर या सर्व घटनांशी रिलेटेड किंवा व्हर्सेस असतील किंवा प्रेयर्स असतील ह्याच्याबद्दल जर आपल्याला जाणून घ्यायचं असेल तर आपल्याला ते फिलॉसॉफी मध्ये त्याची माहिती मिळते. त्याच्यासाठी वी मस्ट हॅव टू स्टडी द हिस्ट्री ऑफ फिलॉसॉफी सब्जेक्ट. देन आफ्टर वी हॅव फोकस्ड ऑन सायन्स. If we want to know the chronological order of a particular discovery, invention or particular study in the science subject, then we have to find out or we have to study the history of science subject. Then we will try to know or we will get to know about the particular invention that took place on what time and what period. Okay. So after that we have studied the technology. So mainly the agriculture field is in the agriculture field we can see the progress that is technology is used for more purposes, and also the production and commodity production and scientific discoveries and invention. So science and technology are both correlated, but technology, so just I yesterday told one example in last session that was from the Stone Age to nowadays we are using different kind of equipments. For example, in Stone Age, people are used for the farming or cultivation, for the plugging the field. They use stone tools. Stone tools means tools which are made from the stone. Means scraper is there, knife is there. Again, also plug is there. So till now, today we are using mechanism. Means what? We are using machineries, tractors, and again different of metal plugs. So this is the technology. This technology we using today, and that technology, if we want to know when actually which machine is invented or designed or that manufactured, for that purpose we have to study the history of technology. Okay. So next one we are going to see in this we have studied yesterday industry and commerce. For the unity of any particular village or city, or to develop the communication between the people, trade plays very important role, and commerce is also important because it will give grip for the development of a particular village or the particular city. After that, we have studied management studies, how to perform the administration, how to sell the product, how to check the market value. So these all things we have studied from the management studies. And next one we have studied that arts. It is important to understand the development of various art forms which helps their lifestyle expression and their foundation in the form of intellectual, emotional, cultural traditions. Means exact the origin, the birthplace of these all skills. Means arts, means singing is also there, again painting is also there, again music is also there. Everything, these all things and their birth, means their origin. If you want to know, then we have to study the history of arts. Many times we are using art for the expression of our styles or expression of our feelings. एखादं नाटक असेल, ड्रामा असेल किंवा एखादं पेंटिंग असेल. पेंटिंग काय करते, व्हॉट वी आर थिंकिंग इन अवर माइंड, व्हॉट वी वॉन्ट टू एक्सप्रेस, दॅट वी कॅन एक्सप्रेस थ्रू अवर पेंटिंग. आपल्याला काय म्हणायचं असतं हे आपण आपल्या पेंटिंगच्या थ्रू आपण एक्सप्रेस करत असतो. ओके, नेक्स्ट वन, ह्युमॅनिटीज वी हॅव स्टडीड yesterday. Humanities include disciplines like history, archaeology, sociology, anthropology, political science, economics, etc. And to understand the history of the origin of development of these disciplines in the essential part of their learning, all the disciplines are supposed to have their origin in philosophy. So, if you want to know the origin, the birth of these all subjects, you have to study the philosophy, and from the philosophy you will get to know the birth, the origin of these all things. Okay, so about yesterday we have discussed same as it is God, goddesses, rituals, philosophical explanation. About this you will get to know when you study the history of that particular subject. Now we are going to proceed towards 3.3, applied history and our present. Okay, so practically use. So yesterday just I have discussed, see, people often ask about the practical value of a history. So many were the students still asking how we using maths in our daily calculation. It is okay, maths also useful, English also okay, we can use language as an international language to speak or go elsewhere in the world. But what is the use of history like other subjects? So just I told in applied history. So history is useful, the past events from the history that useful to solve our present or solve the present problems or find out the solution and plan better for a future. So two things are here. Use of history. First one is find out the solution on our current problems, and second one is to you can make your future better through the planning on based on past experiences. These all things yesterday I told. So here again we are going to see what are the opportunities here for the present. People often ask about the practical value of history. The answer to the question about the nature of applied history answers the question as well. The visible and invisible relics of the past exist in the present. So whatever visible and invisible, see, we can get to know the particular thing, how it took place in the past, and what we should do in a present, that is totally depend on the past experience. So mistakes also we can avoid in a present, and also we can plan better for the future. We nurture some kind of curiosity, attraction towards them. Okay. The visible and invisible relics of the past exist in the present. We nurture some kind of curiosity, attraction towards them. We wish to know more about the history because they represent creative thoughts and traditions of our ancestors. See, we wish to know more about their history because they represent creative thoughts and tradition of our ancestors. So whatever our ancestors are there, so totally whatever ideas they gave us and their thoughts, and we are eager to know about them. Okay, it is our heritage. It helps to building our identity. The history of our heritage links us with our origin. See, actually whatever given by our ancients, our elders, means our all ancient peoples who have worked in the past, something they have given us. So they are they can tell us our origin, our birth, and we are following them. So they are our origin, or they are our birth, and that is our identity. म्हणजे काय, आपली जी जनरेशन होती, आपले जे एन्शियंटर्स होते, त्यांच्यापासून आपल्याला एक आयडेंटिटी मिळालेली आहे, आणि ते आपले एन्शियंटर्स आहेत, आणि त्यांनी आपल्याला काही कोणत्या तरी एक चांगल्या प्रकारचे विचार, चांगल्या प्रकारचे कल्चर, म्हणजे एक संस्कृती आपल्याला दिलेली आहे, आणि ती आपण प्रिझर्व करायची आहे, आपल्याला ती फॉलो सुद्धा करायची आहे, आणि त्यांनी त्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला एक चांगल्या प्रकारची आयडेंटिटी मिळते. सो इंडिया हॅज आयडेंटिटी इन द वर्ल्ड दॅट इंडिया इज अ ऍग्रिकल्चरल कंट्री अँड मेनी द कल्चरल साइट्स स्टील अवेलेबल आर हिअर, सो दॅट वी हॅव टू प्रिझर्व अँड कन्झर्व. बघा, भारत हा जगामध्ये एकमेव असा देश आहे तिथं ऍग्रिकल्चर जास्तीत जास्त प्रमाणात फॉलो केलं जातं, आणि बऱ्याच अशा टुरिस्ट प्लेसेस आहेत, नॅशनल हेरिटेज साइट्स आहेत, आणि त्याच्यामुळे भारताला एक नवी ओळख मिळते, आणि ती ओळख आपण जपून ठेवायची आहे. ठीक आहे, तर बघूया आपण अजून पुढे काय आहे. ओके, सो हिअर वी आर गोइंग टू सी इट बिकम्स नेसेसरी टू प्रिझर्व अँड कन्झर्व it for future, for our benefit as well as for the benefit of future generations. So why we have to preserve and conserve the national heritage sites and thoughts and culture which is given by our ancients? That is, it is beneficial for our present life and also for our future generations, which means for your for the all people. Okay, next one we are going to see in this. Applied history is concerned with the preservation and conservation of our heritage and make it accessible for people. See, applied history, through this, we can conserve our national heritage site. Conserve and preserve. सुरक्षित सुद्धा ठेवायचे आणि ते सांभाळायचे आहे, टिकवून पण ठेवायचे आणि सुरक्षा पण त्याची करायची. म्हणजे काय, कन्झर्व अँड प्रिझर्व. कन्झर्वेशन अँड प्रिझर्वेशन म्हणजे काय, सिक्युरिटी, सुरक्षित त्याला ठेवायचं आहे आणि टिकवायचं फॉर लॉंग टाइम, ते आहे तसं ठेवायचं. म्हणजे सिक्युरिटी सुद्धा, म्हणजे त्याला जपायचं सुद्धा आहे, आणि जास्त पिरियड, म्हणजे जास्त वर्षापर्यंत त्याला टिकवून ठेवायचा प्रयत्न आपल्याला करायचा. फॉर एक्झाम्पल आपण ताजमहल घेऊया, त्याची सिक्युरिटी, त्याची सुरक्षितता पण ठेवायची, आणि ते आहे तसं जास्त दिवस, जास्त वर्षापर्यंत ते आपल्याला जपून सुद्धा ठेवायचं आहे. मग हे कशामुळं पॉसिबल आहे? थ्रू द अप्लाइड हिस्ट्री इट विल बी पॉसिबल. So applied history is concerned with the preservation and conservation of our heritage and make it accessible to the people. So make it accessible for the people. Means what? People can take a benefit of it. Means people will come, visit, they can see, they can observe, and this process will give employment for the local people who living at the local place. Means suppose near to Ajanta and Ellora is there, so local people are living there, so they will get a job as us. They can open few shop, they can sell something, and also they can play the role of a guide. गाईड असतो का नाही, तिथे गेल्यानंतर माहिती देतो. तर अशा बऱ्याच प्रकारचे काम लोकांना तिथं मिळतं. सिक्युरिटीसाठी सुद्धा लोकांना एम्प्लॉयमेंट तिथं मिळू शकते. ठीक आहे. Applied history is concerned with the preservation and conservation for heritage and make it accessible to the people. Heritage management creates opportunities of employment. So first point here we have to keep in our mind that heritage management gives the opportunity of employment. Employment म्हणजे काय? रोजगार, काम, उद्योग. कोणाला तरी काम मिळतं ना हाताला. मी आता जस्ट सांगितलंय, तुम्ही तिथं काही सेल करू शकता, व्हिजिटर्स येत असतात, टुरिस्ट येत असतात, तिथे तुम्ही काहीही विकू शकता, किंवा काहीही तुम्ही तिथं जर रोल प्ले केला ऍज एम्प्लॉयमेंट किंवा एम्प्लॉई म्हणून, तर तुम्हाला काम मिळू शकतं. मग तुम्ही तिथं ट्रॅव्हलिंगचा बिझनेस करू शकता. टुरिस्ट येत असतात त्यांना न्यायचं सोडायचं सोडू शकता किंवा आणू शकता. परत तुम्ही तिथं महत्वाचा रोल म्हणजे गाईड, त्यांना माहिती देण्याचं काम तुम्ही करू शकता. इफ यू हॅव अ नॉलेज ऑफ हिस्ट्री देन यू कॅन टेल टू देम. नो, if you know Indian history about that particular not object or temple or any particular monument is there, you know about it, then you can tell to others. Okay, you will get profit. Yes, you can earn. म्हणजे तुम्हाला त्याचे पैसे मिळून जातील. ठीक. Heritage management creates opportunities of employment. In brief, applied history can be described as understanding of our present with the help of history and finding right direction for the benefit of our future. See here, same two points are again they have told that. So on the basis of past experience, we have to find out the right track for our present. Yes, and also we can plan better for our future. This is the use of history. We can apply the knowledge of history in our regular life. We can find a right track for our life, and we can plan better for the future. Yes. Okay. Management of cultural and natural heritage. Two heritage sites are here. We are going to see management of cultural and natural heritage. 3.4 we are going to see now. So cultural heritage, it is in the form of human creation. So cultural heritage, whatever all cultural heritage sites are there, that all are human creation, means created by the humans. Okay. So it is two types of tangible and intangible. Two types of human creations are there, tangible and intangible. So first of all, we will see tangible. Tangible cultural heritage. This type of cultural heritage includes ancient sites, buildings, artifacts, manuscripts, sculptures, paintings. Okay. So mostly I think so you have seen on the temples upper side, many were the sculptures carved in a stone. Hampi, Badami, in Karnataka, you can see the many of the statues are carved on a temple in a one stone, and you can see the cave paintings. These all are human creations, created by the humans. So these all are tangibles. Tangible cultural heritage. Next one, intangible cultural heritage. This type of cultural heritage includes the following things: oral tradition and their language. Suppose I know one ancient song. If I tells you, then you will tell to another. So oral, the flow of the intangible cultural heritage, it is orally. Orally we are listening stories, how our grandmother telling the story, same we are telling to others. So these oral subjects or stories and their languages, these are all comes into the intangible cultural heritage. म्हणजे काय, म्हणजे आपण ओरली म्हणजे एकाच्याकडून आपण ऐकतो, मग ते लोकगीत असतील, जुन्या गोष्टी असतील, आणि ह्या सर्व गोष्टी आपण दुसऱ्याला सांगतो. एखाद्या वास्तूबद्दल किंवा एखाद्या घटनेबद्दल आपण एकमेकाला सांगतो. हे सर्व कशामध्ये येतं? आपण फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी घेतो कीर्तन. संत तुकाराम महाराजांचे असेल, ज्ञानेश्वर महाराजांचे किंवा एकनाथ महाराजांची कीर्तन जी होती ते लोक पाठ केलेली असतात. मग पाठ केल्यानंतर ते दुसऱ्याला पण सांगतात, दुसरे सुद्धा पाठ करतात. तर हा जो फ्लो आहे, हे जी प्रिझर्व केलेला आहे, पण ओरली प्रिझर्व केलेला आहे, मग हे कशामध्ये येतं? इंटँजिबल कल्चरल हेरिटेज मध्ये येतं. ठीक आहे. पुढचा पॉईंट आपण मग ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज. मग आपल्या पारंपरिकतेबद्दल काही आपल्याला नॉलेज असतं. म्हणजे काय पारंपरिकता म्हणजे काय? ट्रॅडिशनली वी आर फॉलोइंग. म्हणजे आता कपडे आपण जे घालतो, तुम्ही जे कपडे घालतो, फॉरेन इम्पॅक्ट तुमच्यावर जास्त, तर फॉरेन कल्चरचे कपडे आपण घालतो. मग आपल्याकडे आपल्या महाराष्ट्राचे मग धोती कुर्ता म्हणजे धोतर आणि बरेच साडी आहे, नऊवारी, म्हणजे अशा प्रकारचे ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज वी आर फॉलोइंग. मग आपण कुठले कुठले सण साजरे करतो, फेस्टिवल साजरे करतो, हे कसे आले? ट्रॅडिशनली आले. मग तुम्ही ख्रिसमस साजरा करता, मग तो फॉरेन इम्पॅक्ट. बरोबर आहे. आपल्या ट्रॅडिशन मध्ये आहे का? पूर्वीपासून चालत आलाय का? नाही. मग तो आपल्याला सांगतो की हा जो ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज आपण फॉलो करतो, आज आपण इथं आहोत तर, आणि काही पुढच्या महिन्यात एखादा फेस्टिवल असेल तर तो फेस्टिवल आपण साजरा करतो. हे कशाच्या बेसिसवर साजरा करतो? तर ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज आपल्याला असतं. आपल्या आई वडिलांनी असं साजरा केलं, आपल्याला सुद्धा असं साजरा करायचं. सो ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज म्हणजे दीज आर इनविजिबल. दीज आर इनविजिबल. तुम्हाला दिसतं का? पोएम दिसते का? स्टोरी दिसते का? पहिल्यामध्ये आपण बघितलं ओरल ट्रॅडिशन अँड देअर लँग्वेज. तुम्हाला लँग्वेज दिसते का? नाही दिसत. फक्त ओरली त्याचा फ्लो असतो. ओके. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज, ह्याचं सुद्धा तुम्हाला हे विजिबल नाही आहे, इनविजिबल आहे, पण ते एकाकडून दुसऱ्याला दिलं जातं नॉलेज. बरोबर आहे. नेक्स्ट ओके. सोशल कस्टम्स अँड रिच्युअल्स ऑफ सेलिब्रेटिंग फेस्टिवल्स. सेम ॲज आय जस्ट डिस्कस नाव. सोशल कस्टम्स, जुन्या पद्धती आपण फॉलो करतो समाजामध्ये. बऱ्या प्रकारे सण साजरा करण्याच्या वेगवेगळ्या पद्धती असतात. मग आपल्याकडे दसरा असेल तर दसऱ्यामध्ये काय करतो आपण? सोन्याची पानं वाटतो. संक्रांत असेल तर तिळगुळ वाटतो. ह्या ज्या पद्धती आहेत, कस्टम्स आहेत, ह्या सुद्धा ओरली फॉलो केल्या जातात. ह्या सुद्धा इनटँजिबल कल्चरल हेरिटेज मध्ये येतात. पुढचं आहे स्टाईल्स ऑफ परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स. आता वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारे लोक गाणं म्हणतात. पीपल आर सिंगिंग और टेलिंग स्टोरी अँड दिस ऑल्सो प्लेइंग म्युझिक. These all styles will come into the intangible cultural heritage. This also we have to preserve. मग तुम्ही जर बघितलं तर भरतनाट्यम आहे, मग कुचिपुडी आहे आणि कोणकोणते आहेत तर बरेच असे नृत्य प्रकार आहे. महाराष्ट्राचा लावणी प्रकार आहे आणि असे बरेचसे स्टाईल्स आहेत ऑफ डान्स, ते आर्ट्स या सेक्शन मध्ये येतात. सर्टन ट्रॅडिशनल स्किल्स, मग ते कोणतेही असो, तुमचे पेंटिंग असू दे नाही तर दुसरे कोणतेही स्किल असले तरी ते याच्यामध्ये येतात. कम्युनिटीज, ग्रुप्स हू रिप्रेझेंट सच ट्रॅडिशन्स, कस्टम्स अँड स्किल्स. सो कम्युनिटीज बघा, एक वेगळ्याच एक फिक्स प्रकारची कम्युनिटी. आता जर आपण बघितलं तर लावणी किंवा गाणं म्हणणारे किंवा आर्टिसन्स यांची एक वेगळीच कम्युनिटी असते. दीज ऑल कम्युनिटीज हू फॉलोज देअर कस्टम्स अँड स्किल्स, they also will come into the section of intangible cultural heritage. Okay, see, natural heritage, second point B. The concept of natural heritage gives importance to the thought of biodiversity. So very important word, biodiversity. So जैव विविधता, असं मराठीमध्ये शब्द आहे, तुम्हाला समजणार नाही. I will explain in English. So biodiversity. So many other different lives are available on this planet, on Earth, and there is a differentiation. There is a difference. Many they are in a more amount, and they have different from each other. That is called biodiversity. म्हणजे लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम जे अवेलेबल आहेत, जे काही इन्क्लुडेड ह्युमन बीइंग, दॅट इज कॉल्ड बायोडायव्हर्सिटी. डायव्हर्सिटी मीन्स व्हॉट? व्हरायटीज. ओके, म्हणजे आता बघा बायोडायव्हर्सिटी मध्ये मग त्याच्यामध्ये सगळे अॅनिमल्स आहेत, ह्युमन आहे, मग मायक्रो ऑर्गॅनिझम्स असतील, नाहीतर अमिबा असेल, मग तुमचं कोणताही असेल, सगळे लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम, ऑल लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम्स विल कम इन टू द सेक्शन ऑफ बायोडायव्हर्सिटी. The concept of natural heritage gives importance to the thought of biodiversity. It includes the following things: fauna and flora, ecology and geomorphic characteristics, which is crucial for sustaining the flora and fauna of the particular region. So flora and fauna, these are the medicinal plants we can find generally in desert. Okay, so next one we are going to see, it is essential for benefit of future generation to preserve our heritage. UNESCO means UNESCO. UNESCO, the global organization, has announced some directives with the objective of promoting the cultural and natural heritage. So promoting to the natural and cultural heritage. Why we have to promote? We have to preserve, and people will get benefit of it for the future also. On the basis of those directives, list of sites and traditions are declared as World Heritage. World Heritage. So one of the site, for example, I will take Ajanta and Ellora. That site also declared as a World Heritage site. So here it is in Satara, Kas Patar is there. Many different flowers will blossom at particular spring season. So that site also is declared Natural Heritage site. So these unique sites, they are only one in the world that are declared as a World Heritage or World Natural Heritage site. The list of UNESCO's World Natural Heritage now includes Western Ghats. Western Ghats, Sahyadri. Ghats of Sahyadri. Sahyadri mountain ranges, you know Sahyadri. Everybody, Sahyadri mountain ranges. सह्याद्रीची जी पर्वतरांग आहे, जर आपण इथून पुण्याला चाललो किंवा मुंबईकडे जाताना ह्या पूर्ण डाव्या बाजूला आपल्या पूर्ण पर्वत दिसतील, सगळे डोंगर दिसतात, तर हे सर्व काय आहे? वेस्टर्न घाट्स. वेस्टला आहेत ना, आपल्या वेस्टलाच आहेत ना, अरेबियन सीला लागूनच आहेत ना, म्हणून त्याला म्हणायचं वेस्टर्न घाट्स असं नाव त्याला दिलेलं आहे. म्हणून ते आपण त्यांना नॅचरल हेरिटेज साईट असं म्हटलेलं आहे. व्हाय? बिकॉज मेनी आर व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट living things or living things we can find that valuable. So that's why they declare World Heritage Site. Okay. Next one we are going to see in this. It is essential for benefit of future generation to preserve our heritage. UNESCO, the global organization, has announced some directives with the objective of promoting the cultural and natural heritage. On the basis of those directives, list of sites and traditions are declared as World Heritage. The list of UNESCO's World Natural Heritage now include Western Ghat, the Khas Plateau in district Satara. Just I told example. Khas Patar. तर कास पठार हे कुठे आहे? साताऱ्यामध्ये आहे. आणि तिथं वेगवेगळ्या रंगाची फुलं स्प्रिंग सीझन मध्ये ही फुलं उमलतात आणि बरेच विजिटर टुरिस्ट तिथे जाऊन ते पाहतात, त्याचा आनंद घेतात. म्हणून त्याला वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साईट असं म्हटलेलं आहे. तिथं ते प्रिझर्व करण्यासाठी आपल्याला युनेस्को सपोर्ट करते आणि आपल्याला ते फ्युचर जनरेशन साठी सुद्धा प्रिझर्व करून ठेवायचे आहे. ठीक आहे. कास पठार मी तुम्हाला आय थिंक लास्ट 9th इयरला सुद्धा सांगितलं होतं. मला आठवते मी खाली लेक्चर घेतलं होतं आणि कास पठार बद्दल सुद्धा सांगितलं होतं, नॅशनल हेरिटेज साइट्स बद्दल सुद्धा सांगितलेलं होतं. तर कास पठार प्लॅट्यू इन द डिस्ट्रिक्ट सातारा इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ वेस्टर्न घाट. हे कास पठार कशामध्ये येतं? वेस्टर्न घाटमध्ये. ते डोंगरावरतीच आहे. साताराच्या वेस्टर्न घाटच्या रेंज मध्ये. घाट म्हणजे काही एकच नाही, अशी रेंज आहे, माउंटेन रेंजेस, बरोबर, घाट. सो त्याच्यामध्ये हे कास पठार येतं, म्हणून ते वेस्टर्न घाट इज ऑल्सो इन्क्लुडेड इन टू द वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज. ठीक आहे. पुढे या. थोडस थोडी लिस्ट दिलेली आहे. आपण आता जस्ट बघतोय वर्ल्ड नॅचरल हेरिटेज साइट्स, म्हणून मी डायरेक्टली वर्ल्ड नॅचरल हेरिटेज साइट बघणार आहे. ब्ल्यू कलर मध्ये आपला पॅराग्राफ आहे तो बघा आणि त्याच्यानंतर मग आपण टेंजिबल अँड इनटेंजिबल बघूया. ठीक आहे. कुठले कुठले दिले? काझीरंगा नॅशनल पार्क कशासाठी फेमस आहे? रायनोसोर्स. रायनोसोर्स साठी काय फेमस आहे? काझीरंगा नॅशनल पार्क. इट इज डिक्लेअर्ड वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट. केलादेव नॅशनल पार्क अँड मानस वाईल्ड लाईफ सँच्युरी. सुंदरबन्स नॅशनल पार्क पश्चिम बंगालमध्ये आहे. सुंदरबन. आणि ते कशासाठी आहे? राखीव रिझर्व फॉर द टायगर्स. बेंगॉल टायगर, बरोबर आहे ना. नेक्स्ट वन, नंदादेवी अँड व्हॅली ऑफ फ्लावर्स नॅशनल पार्क. वेस्टर्न घाट्स. ग्रेट हिमालयन नॅशनल पार्क कन्झर्वेशन एरिया. आणि हिमालयन एरियामध्ये सुद्धा नॅशनल हेरिटेज साइट्स आपल्याला पाहायला मिळते. ठीक आहे. इथं बऱ्याच गोष्टींची आपल्याला इन्फॉर्मेशन दिलेली आहे. कोणकोणते आहेत बघा. तर द इंडियन ट्रॅडिशन्स डिक्लेअर ॲज ओरल अँड टँजिबल हेरिटेज. ही सगळी लिस्ट आपल्याला दिली आहे, तुम्ही एक वेळ बघून घ्या. वर्ल्ड कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट सुद्धा दिलेले आहेत. आग्रा फोर्ट आहे, अजंता केव्ज आहे, ओके, ताजमहाल आहे, ग्रुप ऑफ मॉन्युमेंट्स. ओके. ठीक आहे. तर डायरेक्ट आपण पेज नंबर 19 वरती येऊया. कल्चरल अँड नॅचरल हेरिटेज मॅनेजमेंट. आता याचं मॅनेजमेंट कसं करायचं? कल्चरल म्हणजे सांस्कृतिकरित्या बनवलेल्या आणि नॅचरल हेरिटेज मध्ये मी डिफरन्स तुम्हाला सांगतो. इकडे लक्ष द्या. कल्चरल हेरिटेज म्हणजे कसं सांगू? ताजमहाल म्हणा, अजंता एलोरा म्हणा, हे केव्ज माणसाने तयार केले. ही कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट झाली, हे बनवलेले, बरोबर आहे. मग कास पठार कोणी बनवले का? हिमालयन माउंटेन रेंज कोणी बनवले का? नाही, नॅचरल आहे. मग ती नॅचरल हेरिटेज साइट. आणि ही कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट म्हणजे कोणती? ताजमहाल असेल किंवा गोल गुंबद असेल किंवा कुतुब मिनार असेल किंवा 4 मिनार असेल आणि कुठले मिनार असतील ते सर्व, तर हे कशामध्ये येतात? कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट. आणि वेस्टर्न घाट असतील, कास पठार असतील, हिमालयन माउंटेन रेंज असेल, सातपुडा रेंज असेल, अरवलीज असेल, तर ह्याच्यामध्ये बरेच असे जे नॅचरली तयार झाले, तिथं काहीतरी विशेष आहे. फ्लोरा अँड फाउना वी कॅन फाइंड इन डेझर्ट, दॅट ऑल्सो, दॅट साइट ऑल्सो called natural heritage sites. So we have to preserve, they are valuable. Okay. Next one we are going to see cultural and natural. Cultural and natural heritage management is one of the main aspects of applied history. So management, whenever we are going to management or manage these all concepts, that time we must know the knowledge of history. We must have the knowledge of history, and on the basis of that we can manage the conservation and preservation process of cultural heritage site. Okay, the work of conservation and preservation of the cultural heritage falls under the jurisdiction of Archaeological Survey of India and India's state departments of archaeology. Besides, in fact, Indian National Trust of Art and Cultural Heritage is actively working in this field. The work of conservation and preservation of cultural and natural heritage require participation of experts from the various fields. For example, archaeologists, historians who got a mastery over the subject of that particular related to that field. For example, who is an archaeologist who got a mastery over in archaeology and he can dig and find out the objects very carefully. So this type of experts we need for the conservation and preservation, and how to handle the objects we are getting through the exhibition from the underground buried objects we are getting, that we have to handle. So we need experts and we have to find out the information about that. Then we need a historian who knows more, or who had a knowledge about the particular thing. So we need an expert from the different field for the management of cultural and natural heritage sites of the world. Next one. They need to be duly aware of the cultural and social and political histories of the heritage site. Suppose any experts are called in the site of Ajanta and Ellora, and they must have the knowledge, or they must have known history of that particular site, and then they will work on it. So they need to duly aware about cultural, social and political histories of the heritage site. Principles of applied history are useful in creating the awareness among them. Thus, the operations necessary for the conservation and preservation and development of a heritage site can be handled without causing any change in original state. For example, any statue or any particular temple or any village, if we found in exhibition, buried underground village we found in exhibition, so expert will not damage that particular state or particular statue or particular object. So if they are mastery over it. Okay. So next one we are going to see this. The local social structure and psychology of the local people, challenges faced by them in the present situation, and their expectations can be surveyed in the detail. See, suppose if you are taking any expert and going on particular site, and before you work on that site, suppose that is the religious place, or suppose that is the temple, and one time before you try to know the expectation and feelings of the people, otherwise you have to face the agitation of the local people. Yes, because their emotions are attached with their god to that temple. Yes, so you first discuss with that people their expectation, what are they expecting about the temple, what are they telling to you, and according to that, according to survey, you try to get the knowledge and you can work afterward on the particular site. Otherwise directly don't go on a particular site, then you have to face the agitation or opposition from the local people. Okay, so next one. Due precautions can be taken to avoid hurting sentiments of local people while completing the projects of conservation and preservation and development of heritage sites. For example, suppose local people have attached emotion with the particular temple, then what precaution you have to take before enter the temple? So you have to, experts they have to wash their feet, they don't have to wear shoes. Yes, so whatever general very common precautions that you have to take, and if you're not taking precaution, if you're not following that rules, then it will touch or it will hurt the sentiments of the local common people. Yes, so you have to take care about it. Next one we are going to see, participation of local people in the project can be facilitated. So if you take participation of local people into the process of conservation and preservation, this will also give you more benefit, and this one very easy to complete your project. Systematic plan can be designed to employ the local skills in a creative way and create a better opportunities of livelihood. Suppose if your project is going to complete now and you can open the employment section, or you can open the employment opportunities for the local people. They can give a security for that particular site, and also they can perform the role of guide. Also they can sell anything, whatever they want to visitors. So employment opportunities also can be created at the end of the project. Okay, so these are the things very important while completing the process of conservation and preservation of cultural and natural heritage sites. Okay, here we will see next point. We are going to see 3.5 affiliated professional fields. Affiliated professional fields. Okay, affiliated professional fields means what? Affiliated means granted by the government. So which are the field in a history that government given the permission or grant to these all sections? You can hire employees here and you can work it here. So that we are going to see. Knowledge of history can be supportive in the decision making with regard to respective legal provisions and public policies in the following fields. So you can use your respective supportive knowledge of history in the following fields. So which are fields are granted by Indian government that we are going to see. Indian government and so all other in the world also. Museum and archive. So museum, you know already the old things were preserved and they kept in that. So whatever we can found in battle or on the place of historical site, that we are preserving or conserving into the museum. And archive means the documents regarding to the history. Means historical documents means manuscripts are there, again books are there, novels are there, magazines, whatever written documents are there, we are preserving in the archives. Yes. Preservation and conservation of historical site. This also gives you employment. Next one. Tourism and hospitality. Tourism. So in the field of tourism, you have a lot of many opportunities. And also next one is the hospitality, means welcoming the tourist. Hospitality means hospital बांधायचं नाही, तर welcome करायचं. Hospitality, welcoming the tourist or the guest. Next one, entertainment and mass media. Entertainment, many other entertaining things are there. You can entertain the people and you will earn the profit. And also mass media. Mass media means the television, mobile, internet. These all things will come into this, and through this you can give an idea or tell more information to the many people at a time about the particular cultural site. Clear tablet is there, you can see, read afterward, that we will see afterward. Indian Museum, Kolkata. Okay, Kolkata. So the Indian Museum at Kolkata was founded by Asiatic Society in 1814 CE century. Nathaniel Wallich, the Danish botanist, was the founder of the first curator of the museum. The photograph of the museum seen here is dated to 1905. The museum has three main departments: arts, archaeology, anthropology. Other affiliated departments are conservation, publication, photography, exhibition, presentation, model making, training, library, and security. Okay, so these are sections. Every field mentioned here requires expert personnel with specialized skills. For example, architects, engineers, historians, archaeologists, museum curators, and sociologists, archive management professionals, legal experts, skilled photographers, etc. Of course, this is just a representative list. The help of experts from many more fields is required. These experts need to have adequate knowledge of the ancient sites, as I discussed, as I told same, and the historical background of a structure, remains, and artifacts, projects in this field of applied history can be create various opportunities for the professionals. So professionals who got a mastery over the subject, so they can get the employment opportunity in these all fields. In this lesson, we learned about the role of applied history in the public training programs for the understanding the importance of history. So public training program, whenever we will give the training to the public regarding to the history, your applied history knowledge also useful that time for creating social awareness about the historical monuments, about the historical heritage sites. You can create awareness and the people will automatically preserve that. Regarding the preservation of our cultural and natural heritage, using knowledge of history for the purpose to enhance the professional skills of people and develop the industrial commercial field to carry out preparatory work and plan for effective implementation. So whenever you will conduct the community program or training program, so you will aware the people and you can make them ready to conserve and preserve our sites, and you will implement your skills and your knowledge successfully. Okay, so it is interesting to know archives preserve the store old documents, official records, old films, etc. The National Archives of India is in Delhi. Every state in India maintains its archives independently. So in every state, so they have their different separate archives. So archives of distinct purpose. The main office of the National Film Archives of India is located in Pune, Maharashtra. It was established in 1964 as the media unit of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting of Indian government. It is served three objectives. What are the three objectives that we are going to see now? To search and obtain rare Indian films. So rare old Indian films, so valuable Indian films, they have to search and preserve in the film heritage site for the benefit of future generation. To categorize the important aspects of film, to create a documentation and catalogs and carry out the research in the field of a film, and to establish the center of dissemination of film culture, to establish one of the center for the present the documentary on the film culture. Okay, so next one we are going to see implementation of heritage projects, etc. It is essential to avoid vandalizing of historic and public places and ensure that they are preserved for the benefit of future generations. So whenever you will conduct, or many experts will conduct the public awareness program, through that they will make people aware and ready to preserve our national and cultural heritage sites for the future generations. Okay, here today we will stop, and remaining part means question answers you have to complete, and we will discuss maybe in our next session. And here we will stop today. Thank you. Okay, here our lesson is finished. Now just we are going to see remaining one part from page number 19. Do you know? So the earliest museum, 6th century BCE, before Christ, in the world was discovered during the exhibitions at the city of Ur in Mesopotamia. The exhibitions were conducted by Sir Leonard Woolley, 1992 to 1934. This museum was built by the Princess of Mesopotamia. Her name was Iningaladi. She herself was the curator of museum. Noteworthy feature of that museum is a clay tablet inscribed with the description of exhibited artifacts. So one of the object that is with the information described on it about the artifacts, so which is found in the exhibition of Mesopotamia in the city of Ur. And next one we are going to see culture at a glance. The Indian traditions declared as oral and intangible heritage. So Indian traditions declared as oral and intangible heritage. Oral means intangible, that cannot be visible. So which are they? See, Kotiyattam Sanskrit theatre in Kerala. This also oral and intangible heritage site. The tradition of Vedic chanting means by hearting. The Vedic means Vedas. Rig Veda is there, Yajurveda is there. These all are Vedas. Whatever information they are included, verses they including. The chanting means the by hearting. That center is also declared as a intangible heritage site. Ramlila, the traditional performance of a Ramayana in Uttar Pradesh. This is also one of the intangible heritage, oral or intangible, we can say. Raman, religious festival and ritual theatre of Garhwal, Himalayas. Next, Kalbelia, folk songs and dances of Rajasthan, one of the famous. Chau dance, a tradition from Eastern India. And next, Mudiyat, the ritual theatre of Kerala. Buddhist chanting of Ladakh, Leh and Ladakh, you can see. And recitation of scared Buddhist text in the Trans-Himalayan Ladakh region, Jammu and Kashmir. Sanskritana, ritual singing, drumming and dancing of Manipur. This also included into the oral intangible heritage site. Next one, traditional craft of making utensils of brass and copper among the Tateras of Jandiala Guru in Punjab. So making brass objects means utensils, म्हणजे काय, भांडी वगैरे तयार करण्याची जी स्किल आहे, जी कला आहे, ती पंजाबमध्ये आपल्याला पाहायला मिळते. आणि त्या कलेला सुद्धा, त्या स्किलला आपल्या इंडियन गव्हर्नमेंटने नॅशनल इंटॅजिबल हेरिटेज साईट असं डिक्लेअर केलेलं आहे, किंवा ओरल हेरिटेज साईट्स आपण तुम्ही म्हणू शकता. आता वर्ल्ड कल्चरल हेरिटेज साईट, सांस्कृतिक वारसा असणारी स्थळ किंवा प्लेस आपण जे म्हणू शकतो, त्याच्यामध्ये बघा इंडियामध्ये आग्र्याचा फोर्ट आहे, किल्ला. नेक्स्ट आहे अजंता केव्स. वेरूळ म्हणजे एल्लोरा केव्स. टोटली द टेम्पल्स आर कर्व्ड इनटू द वन रॉक. Ajanta and Ellora caves. Taj Mahal, very well known to everyone. And the next one, group of monument at Mahabalipuram. Group of monument, many of the monuments are there in Mahabalipuram. Temples are there. Again, houses are there. That all are included in the World Cultural Heritage Site. Sun Temple, Konark, Surya Mandir. Konarkचं जे सूर्य मंदिर आहे, तुम्ही जुन्या 10च्या नोटवरती जर बघितलात, 10च्या किंवा 20च्या नोटेवरती सूर्य मंदिर ते आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतं, कोणार्कचं आहे. चर्चेस अँड कन्व्हेंट्स ऑफ गोवा. गोव्याचे जे चर्च आहेत, कन्व्हेंट्स आहेत, ते फेमस आहेत. ते गोव्याचे चर्च ते सुद्धा वर्ल्ड कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट्स मध्ये इन्क्लूड केलेले आहे. फतेहपूर सिक्री हा सुद्धा प्लेस कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट्स मध्ये ऍड केलाय. ग्रुप ऑफ मॉन्युमेंट्स ऍट हम्पी. मी लास्ट म्हणजे ह्या व्हिडिओमध्ये मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं, हम्पी आणि बदामी जर तुम्ही व्हिजिट केला तर तुम्हाला पाहायला मिळेल की तिथे जे टेम्पल्स आहेत पूर्णपणे दगडाने बांधलेले आहेत. त्याच्यामध्ये कोणताही सिमेंट, कोणतेही ब्रिक्स नाहीये, कोणत्याही प्रकारचं आणि मटेरियल नाहीये, म्हणजे कॅल्शियम कार्बोनेट नाही आहे. फक्त स्टोन्स एकावरती एक घेऊन ते मंदिर उभा केले. हम्पी आणि बदामी तुम्ही बघू शकता. ठीक आहे, पुढे बघूया थोडस. खजुराहो ग्रुप ऑफ मॉन्युमेंट्स. खजुराहो सुद्धा ग्रुप ऑफ मॉन्युमेंट्स बऱ्याच प्रकारचे वेगवेगळे मॉन्युमेंट्स आहेत. मग त्याच्यामध्ये टेम्पल असतील, हाऊसेस असतील, केव्स असतील. एलिफंटा केव्स हे सुद्धा कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट्स मध्ये ऍड केलेले आहे. नेक्स्ट बघूया ग्रेट लिव्हिंग चोला टेम्पल्स. चोला डायनेस्टी आपण शिकलेला आहे आधी. परत वैशाली आहे, चोला आहे, परत अजून उज्जैन आहे. त्या सगळ्या डायनेस्टीज आहेत, ते राजघराणे जे आहेत. मग त्याच्यामध्ये मगध डायनेस्टी असेल, या सर्व डायनेस्टीमध्ये एक फेमस होते चोला डायनेस्टी. आणि त्यांचे जे टेम्पल्स आहेत ग्रेट लिव्हिंग चोला टेम्पल्स हे सुद्धा कल्चरल हेरिटेज साइट्स मध्ये ऍड केलेले आहे. ओके, नेक्स्ट बघूया. बरेचसे साइट्स आहेत, आपण पुन्हा बघणार आहोत. राहिलेले साइट्स आपण नेक्स्ट सेशन मध्ये बघूया आणि तोपर्यंत आज आपण थांबूया आणि पुढच्या सेशनला थोडंसं क्वेश्चन आन्सर डिस्कस करून नेक्स्ट लेसनला आपण सुरुवात करणार आहोत. थँक्यू.